Controls used in entity. In this video we're talking about text area. So text area icon, which is right this one, allows users to add text areas. Now this option is normally used to create comment box where big long information is entered, like say comment box feedback section or a special instruction section. So yeah, you can either double click on this icon right here or drag it to the attribute section. I'd like to drag it like this. Oh yeah, here we go, there it is. Alright, so once that is done, now select, so after the text area has been selected as an attribute, you'll need to define the property of the attribute selected. Simply click on the area the area box which will bring up the property section consisting of different values on the right. I think I'll just take an existing one to make things easier. Right, so say I'm taking this feedback option. Now here, there are different sections. Let's start with the name, and in the name section you need to enter the name to define the field. This is not what is displayed as the text box, but just defines the field. So the text should be entered without any spaces here, say the interviewer feedback in this case. And if there are more than one word in the name, the starting letter of the second word should always be a capital letter. So in this case I've written here interviewer feedback, and the F on the feedback is a capital letter. It's all one word. Right, now let's move on to the caption section. Now the text entered in the caption section is displayed as the name of the field. So if there is no text entered in this section, it will just show the name that you've entered in the name section. But say I've entered the name feedback in this caption field, which shows us feedback right here, and default. Now the values entered in this section will be displayed by default in the name field. Say for example, if I say feedback, maybe I say good. Say. Right, so when this application is created, now it will actually show good in this in this feedback field by default, yeah, which obviously can be changed. So this is just the name that will show in the field that you've created. So once that is done, so after the fields are set, you have the ability to set up validations for different fields that you've created, and the system provides the following options, which is the required field. So this is the required option. Now this defines if the field is required or a mandatory field. So if you can check on this like this, now which means like users will have to enter information in this section, they can't leave this blank. Similarly, max length, now this is to set the maximum length of characters in a field, so you can define how many characters are allowed in this particular field that you've created. Okay, and minimum length, now again this is to set the minimum length of the characters in a field, where you can define so you can define the minimum characters that must be entered in a field. Okay, and a pattern, again now this is to define what pattern the information in the text box should be set as. For example, say if it was an email field, you could have set the pattern as example.com, and so which will actually show to the users that the text should be entered in that particular pattern. And number only, now this is to define if you're just going to enter only numbers and no characters in that particular field you've created, but this is basically used for fields like phone number, SSN field, zip code, and so on.